So another variation of the hip car is to add in a little bit of hip adduction and external rotation to the car. So I'm going to show you in a standing position because it's going to challenge my balance a little bit. And then I'm going to show you up on the wall, which is going to allow me a little bit more range of motion because I take the balance component out of it. But I'm going to try to show you from a head-on view to start. So everything in our body is rigid. We're not dumped into extension. We're tucking our pelvis. We're having rib cage and pelvis nice and stacked. So glutes squeezed, abs are tight. Drive through the ground on your stance leg. Make fist. Everything stays tight. We're bringing our hip into external rotation and adduction, so a little bit across our body. We start to come up into hip flexion, abduction, and then we keep the knee high. We try to rotate the foot to the sky without the hip hiking. Internal rotation, hip extension, bring it right back into adduction. Hip extension, abduction and external rotation with hip flexion. Bring the foot high into more external rotation and try to go ahead and cross your body into more adduction. Bring it right back up, a hip external rotation and flexion. Open it up into abduction, internal rotation with hip extension, and then add right back into your body. Hip extension, abduction, hip flexion, fight for more external rotation, add it right back down toward your body. So it's just a little bit of a different stimulus for your hip car. Up against the wall, you can kind of go into a little bit of a side plank. Try to minimize hiking here through the hips. Everything stays rigid. We're just moving through the ball and socket. So our hip joint, adduction, external rotation. Get the hip as high as you can without compensating through the pelvis and the low back. Finish that hip car. You can see it's just a little bit different of a training stimulus, and it might be a little bit harder or easier. The variations of cars is unlimited. So as long as you're not pushing through any of the closing angle joint pain within your cars, you can do cars pretty much however you want. There are unlimited variations, and within our Ken Stretch classes, you'll see all different types of variations and different positions that we execute cars in. So that's just another variation. Give it a try.